Have you ever caught yourself reaching for a bad habit without even thinking about it? Like maybe it's out of stress or boredom. Guys, this is where Fume comes in. It's not about quitting. It's about replacing. Fume offers a simple way to break bad habits while still having something to reach for. Fume is an award-winning flavored air device that delivers great taste without any harmful chemicals. Instead of inhaling vapors, you breathe in natural, non-toxic flavors that satisfies your cravings without the downside. Whether you're looking to keep your hands busy or you're looking to curb an urge, Fume's premium wood design is built for both flavor and function. The magnetic fidget features add an extra layer of satisfaction. My go-to flavor is crisp mint, because it's super refreshing. But Fume's got tons of different flavors, something for everyone. Over 500,000 people have already made the switch to Fume as part of their habit-changing journey. For a limited time, if you order the Journey Pack and you use my code Chael, you will get a free Fume topper. Click the link, tryfume.com/Chael. That's F-U-M. By the way, you can also just scan the QR code I put on the screen.
You are a very fickle group, by the way. You really are. I mean, you guys will change your mind
like that, but
I can't overly blame you. Like, there's one thing about this sport is we don't know anything about the sport.
I mean, it really does feel like that. Like right when you feel like, okay, the sport has evolved. Here's what it is.
And the sport did recently evolve.
It recently evolved in that in 2012, gyms opened up that were MMA gyms. They were, you didn't have a wrestling base and you caught some jiu-jitsu over here and you went, you got your boxing and maybe even had a trainer that put it all together once or twice a week. It wasn't like that anymore. You did not have wrestling matches. You did not have judo and jiu-jitsu matches. You did not have kickboxing and boxing and point karate matches. You had none of those. You had MMA. That started in about 2012, and it started in Russia, and then you get a decade later, and those little boys are now champions of the world. But okay, we're done. We're done. We now know everything. Then you get somebody like Ilya steps in that doesn't have that. He's got the old-fashioned past. Matter of fact, he started in Greco-Roman wrestling. It was the first thing that he ever did. But he's got this power for anything he touches that destroys. Okay, but now we've seen it all. Now we get it. Well, no, not so fast. Because we do have a question of just how good is Dricus Du Plessis. We do have a question. And Dricus is at a very unique time. Now, I was the king of the middleweights. But who wants to hear some guy talk about old story? But there wasn't a middleweight that could win a round from me. Not one round did I ever lose at middleweight. I had no equal. And I tell you that because I feel that I'm a very fair person that has earned the right. And generally speaking, a person will have a biasness to their era. And they'll think that it was the toughest era and these new kids and they got to come along. I can openly tell you, middleweight has never been harder than it is now. Like whoever is the best middleweight right now is the best middleweight of all time. That was a distinction that Anderson Silva, of course, had, that Israel Adesanya then took claim to. But you've now got Dricus at the same time that Adesanya is still active, head-to-head competition, and you go, okay, but was that because Dricus was that good? Or was Izzy's time just up? That's a real thing too, right? You got a window. Nobody knows what it is. But Dricus steps out. And I mean, this is back when Dricus had fought on TV one time. No, I apologize. He had never fought on TV, at least not pay-per-view main card, right? And he speaks up, so he gets the fight with Darren Till. That gets put as the opening fight of the main card. Largely, squeaky wheel got the grease. Here you go. Be happy with it. And it was a real battle. Those guys went back and forth, and it went to the third round. I'm just sharing, like, Dricus did not come out of that ring that night. We're all going, oh my goodness, the best fighter in the world, but he said he was. He felt it after that fight. Darren Till's a hard night out for anybody. Maybe we got to relook at that match, don't we? At any rate, we'll make this mouthy guy. We'll make him go away. We'll put him in co-main event spot. We'll move him right up the card, and we'll put him opposite Robert Whittaker. Nobody's ever beaten Robert Whittaker that couldn't call themselves world champion. Very interesting stat. He's never lost to a guy that wasn't world champion. Now, there's one exception, which is Chimaev, but his opportunity's coming up. All right, great. Just before you think you have to leave me a comment. Now, goes out there and he dominates him. All right. Well, Robert Whittaker had an off night. And we'll figure out what to do with this guy. He's not a star. He's not main event ready. He's not going for the world title. And then X and Y happen, and they turn to Z, which was Dricus, and they bring him in for the world title against Sean Strickland. And I'm just sharing a little bit of Dricus's past, but that's a very hard night out to get over on Sean, particularly at that time. Sean was firing on all cylinders. There was no excuse. Two guys fought, and one guy was better at it. All right. And then Dricus draws into Izzy. And it was the kind of outcome that, for whatever reason as human beings, we don't praise the winner. We come away with more of a pulling down of the loser. Well, Izzy underperformed. Does Izzy still have it? Should Izzy retire, right? It's a very common thing, but it's a flawed mentality of the MMA fan and viewer. So there is still a question. This is the hardest. I mean, let's relook at the body of work I just presented with you. This is the hardest time in middleweight history. You got Kaio, Brallo, you got Imanov. How disrespectful for me not to mention his name. You got the undefeated Chimaev. You got Whittaker that's not backing down. You got RDR. You got Bo Nikolai. There has never been a time. So in theory, I mean, by process of elimination, under the laws of logic, that would make the current champion the greatest of all time. But we're not there yet, are we, guys? We're not there yet. It just seems like this is the one that Dricus needs. It just feels like this great and dominant and undefeated and younger. It just feels like to close the book on this. Now, if he gets over, we will quickly find his next problem, right? Which is likely RDR if it goes well with Whittaker, just for example. But what I'm attempting to share with you is I got asked today, how does Chimaev beat Dricus? Now, the wording of that, I get asked that question every day of my life about somebody. But the wording of the question demonstrates by the asker of the question who they think is going to win the fight. How does Chimaev beat Dricus is a different verbiage for saying, I don't think Chimaev can beat Dricus, and I'm only sharing with you that's new. You guys have always believed that Chimaev could beat Dricus. You've always believed that Chimaev could beat everybody. You believed as recently as Chimaev's last fight that nobody could touch him. And you're a very fickle group. And can he beat him? That's between those two. How does he beat him? He starts with plan A, which is to take him down and maul him. And if that doesn't work, which in the past it hasn't, he attempts to bludgeon him on his feet more than he gets bludgeoned. That's the answer to the question. That's how Chimaev would beat Dricus.